And we're live. We got bananas in chat from Ollie95XZ. Jay's on fire. Matt. Rats. Matt. And the bananas are immediately off the stream. You are all very excited for some Hermitcraft 1.14, aren't you? Aren't you now? Does X ever start right after the countdown, says Blackick. I believe that we always start after the countdown is finished. There's probably not been many times that we haven't started after the countdown is finished. Unless I've had technical difficulties. Is it raining? Can we get rid of the rain? Look at that rain. Look how unobtrusive it is. It's like I've got some sort of amazing vanilla tweaked texture pack. What are these holes here? They seem a bit odd. Witherrows? Block in front of my door. Peeps, we're doing like errands and whatnot today. Going to be hopping around all over the place. One of the things I wanted to do is come over here and maybe take back some of these boxes that have just been filled full of junk. Junk, I tell you. Yeah, I need to shuffle some stuff around here. I'm going to leave the nether bricky stuff behind. So yeah, I got loads of little errands to run today. That is the theme of today's stream. And once some of those errands are done, we'll probably get to more project-y stuff. Now, we're probably going to need to leave some of these things back here. Do I have space in this one? Probably, if I get rid of that string. Oh, that string is actually to make more scaffolding, funny enough. So we'll leave that over here. What is this? Is this like a village wall? A village wall has been built around the church. That's interesting. I don't know who did that because one of the ideas of the village was that it was supposed to expand. Oh dear God, things are coming from the sky. Ah, run for my life. Jeez. I got noises in my ear, by the way. Hot Melty Cheese has resubscribed for 3 months in a row. Whoa! And that's a crazy loud noise in my ear. It's the wrong orange one, isn't it? It's this one that we need. It's Dino112, a Twitch baby, rolling into the stream saying woohoo, and another month bites the dust. Another month bites the dust. Yeah, another month does bite the dust, doesn't it? Those months, they keep rolling by. They keep rolling by. Let's throw away just a couple of these things that are needlessly taking up inventory space. Are you going to play Grian's game? It looks super fun. What is Grian's game? I have no idea. Okay, so I want to see how far this thing goes. Kind of looks like it goes... Hey, do you know what? The better way to see it would be up above. Oh, it goes around the whole place. Well, I don't know who did that, but I was under the impression that we were continuously expanding this village, so... I mean, it looks cool. I really like the signs on the side of the block there, and the trapdoors. That's a nice way to add detail. But yes, that was unexpected right there. Fireworks in crossbows, says Voltplay. I haven't messed around with fireworks in the crossbow too much. Won't be doing that today, though. At some point, I do plan on like getting all the crossbow enchantments together and whatnot. So I guess the other things that I want to leave here would be glass box. I do actually have a chest over here, so I can fit everything relevant to the project in there. And that means we can pick up this one, which I would consider full of junk. And that one. And we can skedaddle. So we've left behind nether bricks and some cobblestone because we'll probably need that. Cool, yeah, I just wanted to go put these in my base so I can sort them out later today. As I've noticed that I'm just starting to accumulate tons of junk and lugging stuff around with me. Randy Nicole says, in my opinion, the crossbow is very, very weak. I think when they first added it, it was super strong, but they must have nerfed it because pillagers and whatnot, I've noticed, are not actually... Well, I mean, we were invisible yesterday and they were shooting us. Or the day before. When was it we last streamed? We were invisible and we were having no issues. You know, none at all. We could survive them. I mean, maybe I was panicking a little bit. Panicking like Anakin. We got a noise here. It's Annoying Psychic. Resubscribing for 28 months in a row. Look at that diamond face. Annoying Psychic, thank you ever so much for your support. Truly appreciated. We also got Ian Dakabro here. Or Ian. Or I can never make up my mind. I never make up my mind, do I? Doing the cheers. Throwing the bits. Say thanks for the spoilers, Asuma. I mean, let's classify. That was an exclusive preview. Only here on this live stream can you get exclusive previews like that. Yeah, it was spoilers, wasn't it? I really didn't think about that. I was just a bit locked into the idea of what is this? Like, where is it going? Yeah, I should have thought about that. I'm sorry. I didn't use my noggin, did I? I did not use my noggin. I've been binge watching Hermitcraft 6 for 2 days straight. Follower for a long time, says Simpo. I'm glad you've been following and hope you're enjoying your binge watching. Cuplex says, why is the chat in slow mode? No idea. No idea. Tiddy Led says, may have been already shown in a video. I don't know. I know Stressed on a video with Lil Stress Grave. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, there was a grave there as well. I kind of got immediately distracted by the other thing though. So in terms of junk, we're just going to drop this off. I'm not going to do any sorting unless I've left something of use I want to keep with me. But, you know, we're running errands today. I don't think we need too much of this stuff immediately on hand. Do I have a shield in my backpack? Feels like this is something I would have in my backpack, right? If I were to evaluate all the things I've got here and get rid of something, it would probably be the lead, because I keep lead in the tools. Although it should really have a place there as well, I think. And we've got a noise in the air. It's Happy 3000 subscribing. Happy 3000, I like the username. I appreciate the subscription. Ah, look. Look at that, we've got our shield in over here. And extra shovels. I probably need to go through all of this stuff as well and figure out what's what, right? So on that note, I'm actually going to go put the shield back into here. Where it was before. It didn't even get used. It wasn't even damaged. These are our other 3 boxes to leave behind. Lots of sand, lots of rockets, more sand. Let's get all this sand. We might be able to salvage one of these. And we'll restock. Look how much sand I get through in this season. Crazy. Simpo says, one question I've always wanted to ask. Oh, well, to answer you, I don't really talk about personal stuff much like that. Details or whatever. On these streams. Why do you have a cobblestone block in your backpack? Oh, it's a password. It is a password. Okay, yeah, so this one here can probably get emptied, as the stone and dirt will end up in these types of chests, right? I believe I have a valuables up here. Nice. Nice. And then the rest of it can just go into there. Yeah. Right, so I need to sort out my food. My food source is pretty naff at the moment. But we're looking all good, and we've cleared that one out. So let's grab it. Grab it like a rabbit. Chug it into here. Have no fear. And we're going to fill up... I don't know how many we will. Probably 2 shulker boxes for now. I need to go repair my items, and then I need to have some leads available and a boat or 2. I believe I have a boat in my backpack. Yep. See, this tools box is kind of like a double backpack, isn't it? Anyway, we are all ready to head out of here. One more thing to grab is food. Food. Do I have fish? Need more fish. I'll probably end up buying some more golden carrots. Yeah, mate, I bet Impulse isn't stocked. It's that point in the season where some of the shops just get forgotten about. Did I keep a big stash of fish? Oh, I really don't know. I know that I void most of the fish, right, over here. Oh no, maybe we keep some fish in the middle. We got a noise in the ear from the Vixen38 doing the cheers, throwing the bits, saying, we know you're working extra hard these days because of all the bugs. Don't forget to take care of yourself too. You're awesome. Thank you for the lovely message. I have been taking care of myself. I'll always be taking care of myself, believe me. And thank you ever so much for the cheers and the bits. If anything, having stuff like that has been making me super efficient lately. Like, what I like is being productive and getting the most out of my time. And I feel like the last week I've just been, you know, waking up early, going at it full steam until I fall asleep. And there's always something to be done, there's always something I'm doing. And it feels good. I like it. Getting things done, you know. And the bugs and all of that have kind of piled into that, but it's kept me busy. It's kept me, like, organised and thinking, being on top of stuff, you know. Being smart and organised. So it's all good. Okay, let's go up, 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 up. Up again. And up again. Ow! My face. Into the glass. Okay, so. First of all, what on earth is that hideous sound? Second of all, who do I shoot around here to get some XP? No, don't run away! Okay, there we go. Awesome. So all of this is already repaired. And I guess it's just the pick and the shovel that really need the bulk of it. And guess what, peeps? Guess what? I've got a hot cup of mocha here. I treated myself. I said I'll have some mocha today. Made with cashew milk. I really like cashew milk. It's incredibly low calorie as well compared to some of the other types of milk. Squirtle says, did Wells Knight leave Hermitcraft? No. Wells did not. Wells is still a hermit. Oh my goodness me, is that warming up my belly? What a treat. What a treat. Father Apocalypse says, might as well repair the shovels in your toolbox as well. I don't think they have mending on those ones. I don't think they even have mending. Let's... Okay, that was unexpected. But I guess that makes sense. I tried to eat this food. And it didn't work. Okay, the shovel's done. Wow, this is going to be a short trip, basically. Good day, mate, from the land down under, says Corey Moore. Hello, upside down person. Or what if I'm the person who's upside down, you know? What if us Brits are upside down all along, and those Aussies were the right way up? What way is up in the universe? I must know. I need to know the answer to these important questions, peeps. Let's eat some chicken. I feel like eating some chicken today. Gorilla GT says, does pre-release 4 finally fix the lighting issue? Yeah, we're in pre-release 4. It appears to have done so. Yeah, not seen a single, you know, example of it not working. One thing I will say is that I personally experienced a lot of not so goodness. Well, okay, let's go through it in detail, right? Like I updated the server to pre-4 and the chunk loading was absolutely horrendous. So I figured that it was relighting everything on the fly and that was taking up a lot of energy, and so I had to download the world and do it all manually. And then I uploaded it, and then when I uploaded it, it was still horrendous. And then other hermits logged on and said everything was good. So I'm assuming like it was unfortunate timing that for some reason the chunks would load really slow. But what was weird is that I would, like, you know, let's say I log in, right, and I load this area here. The chunks would load really slow. Moving around would be really bad. So I move in that direction and it's really slow. Lots of rubber banding and chunks loading very slow. But once they had loaded once, if I flew back into an area I'd loaded them before, they seemed fine. And I did this over large parts of the Hermitcraft server, just going back and forth. And I assumed this meant that it was relighting the chunks, which it's supposed to do by default, and so it was taking a long time. But it just seemed to be, for me, wherever I went, the first time I would go there it would load very slow, and the second time it would be alright. It was so strange. So strange. Anyway, what's next on my list? I guess a trippity trap triple to the thing. Yeah, the thing! Oh, Sumo, I've been waiting all stream for the thing. Please go there. Yeah. Jeez, words. Streaming, I'm supposed to be good at this. Okay. I was going to say we need to go to the end of this tunnel. That's not true anymore. We need to go to a part of this tunnel, that is for sure, and I might have gone past it. Actually, I think we're here. Look, on the left. Is that my destination? That's my destination! Let's go in there. How do I press F3 in real life, says Biohazard. Jeez, if only. An F3 button for IRL, right? Dr. Snacky96 says, X, I think even in 1 to 13 you had chunk loading problems when the others didn't seem to. I don't remember it. I feel like I'm always the one that doesn't complain much. Like, not saying like complaining for complaining's sake. I just don't seem to encounter as much as the bad performance as others do. But updating to pre-4, I'm telling you, it was awful loading chunks. Like, look at this, everything's loaded. We haven't noticed anything. It's fine. But yesterday, like, we would be walking in this direction and we would be getting rubber banded backwards as all the chunks load up. So I don't know what it was. I'm going to put it down to it just being some internet connection quirkiness yesterday. Because it did not last, it seems. So someone set up a massive beacon over here. A massive piece of bacon. And where are we going to go mine this stuff out? I think we'll start right here. We got a noise in the ear. It's Malatum. Subscribing, Malatum. Thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And Iron Daka Bro is here doing cheers for own bits, saying, do you think the universe spans out in a straight line, or if we go into space, can we fly up in space? I have no idea, Iron Daka Bro. But I understand the curvature of space-time. But the thing is that looking at shapes when you're from a different dimension always makes them seem like a different thing. I was watching a video that had an example of... what was it in particular? Let's turn that down, actually, it's a little bit loud. It had an example of a sphere and what it would look like if you were in a 2D existence. It would look like a dot, then all of a sudden turns into a big circle and shrinks back to a dot again as it intersects the 2D plane. So, because we see our world in 3 dimensions, and we understand the 4th dimension, if it is time, as linear, like going in one direction, which it might not actually be, it's just our experience of it. It's kind of super duper hard to, like, understand what it would mean. Like, if you saw this dot that turns into a bigger circle and then back to a dot again, you might just think of it as, oh, that's a, you know, a object that is changing, as opposed to an object that is moving through another dimension. So we might see time as just changing in one forward, you know, one forward trajectory, whereas it might actually be an object that moves through the 3rd dimension in the way a sphere would move through the 2nd dimension, right? Who knows? It's all super duper mysterious, and there's people that are really smart that talk about this topic and stuff. And most of the time I listen to it and I go, wow, my little brain has been zapped. I understand nothing, but it sounded so amazing. Ray's Jaguar is here, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Ray's Jaguar, thank you for using the Prime subscription on me, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the stream today. Ian Daka, bro, thank you again for the cheers and the bits, I appreciate that support. Yo Wookie says there's actually a map, the Hypercube, that explains the 4th dimension. It may explain it, but I think it explains it on the premise of theory and not fact, because there seems to be lots of theories going around about what the 4th dimension is, and I think most people seem to agree it's time in the scientific community, but there are many different theories out there that you can get your hands on and hear about. I saw an interesting lecture by a physicist who said the desire to beautiful theories in physics was really detrimental to finding out more about how the universe works. There's been no progress since the 70s in fundamental physics. All the theories that came after have been proven to be right. You know, you can find so many people with different opinions. Again, as someone who like listens to lots of different people, like if I hear something that's contradictory to something else I've heard, I don't tend to go, right, oh, you're wrong, I'm tuning out, or anything like that. You know, I've heard someone, I can't remember who it was. I can picture them, but I heard them on a podcast basically say that we are like 99% close to figuring everything out. Like we've pretty much got it all sussed out, right? The universe and how it works. And that seemed like in direct contrast to many other scientists that I've heard that are like, oh, every time we figure something out, we get further and further from knowing everything, because it just every new discovery comes with more questions. So that's just so true of many things in life. You can just find anyone saying anything, really. There's so many of us, you can find anyone saying anything is the truth. They've got the answer. This is how it is. I tend to go with when it seems like there are people who are genuinely smart and they're in a camp with other genuinely smart people saying the same thing, right? When you got one person on their own you don't know much about saying, oh yeah, no, we pretty much got it all sussed out. In the next 10 years we'll have figured out everything. I'm like, because this person's labelled an expert by someone else, you know. That's the nature of, I guess, skepticism in a way. Like, you can be skeptical of anyone. Audio Starfish 87, there's a name I ain't seen in a while. Resubscribed for 3 months. Actually, I probably saw it last month, didn't I? Actually, no, wait, how's the whole message thing work? Is it 3 months in a row or just 3 months? Saying, oh wow, it's already been a month since I last subbed. Audio Starfish, thank you ever so much for the support. I'm not sure if it was last month or not. I feel like I haven't seen your name in a while, but welcome back. SCJDG is here, resubscribed for 5 months, saying, love as always. Any plans on a second Admin 101 video? I do not recall making a first Admin 101 video. I don't have any plans to make admin videos. I in my episodes I've kind of shown off much of the stuff, I think. I don't know, it's such a big topic to put together. Problem with administrative stuff is it's so particular and nuanced and built off of like experience and knowledge, and it's kind of hard to figure out how you would turn that into a video, but I'll think on it. ACN Archangel is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. ACN Archangel, thank you for using the Prime subscription on me, I appreciate it. Bobo Line says, she said supersymmetry and multiple dimensions are just made up of a desire to see beauty, but none of the supersymmetry particles have been found. The only new particle that has been actually found was the Higgs boson, and that theory is from the 1950s. I watched a video on supersymmetry, and there are experiments that they talked about in this video showing how they... Oh, you know, this is the problem with, like, I watch this stuff as entertainment. Like, to me it's like watching Game of Thrones, right? I'm being entertained by the science. I'm not taking it in a way where I'm fit to reiterate it. So excuse me if I remember it completely wrong. But if I remember correctly, the supersymmetry was like demonstrated how they figured out how it exists and how they run this experiment to show what supersymmetry is. And it was really clever. It had something to do with the idea of parallel universes and how they can sort of set up an experiment with a particle to prove that it wouldn't exist or something like that, like there isn't a parallel universe, or maybe it was. You see, I can't remember the specifics. But at no point in that video did it ever seem like they were trying to do this stuff just because it was beautiful. That really does sound like someone else's opinion of who's doing the research. Like, to say that like, you know, something is wrong because they're trying to make it beautiful or whatever, infers that the people doing the research and coming up with the theories have that agenda. And in the video that I saw, it really didn't feel like they had an agenda other than, you know, trying to think and discover and figure things out about our universe. So I'll be a little bit skeptical of that, because the grounds to dismiss it don't sound scientific. They sound like they're trying to attack the motivation. You know? It's like, you know, if we simplify it, you know, 1 + 1 = 2. You're just trying to make the numbers fit together nice, you know? It's like that. Hello, chest. Take my junk. There we go. goodness me, this coffee is so good. Mocha even, hot chocolate coffee. Emma Dan says, what is this universe people talk of? How deep in the void can you go? That's what I want to know. Well, they believe there's an edge to the universe, right? And that it's always expanding outwards. Supposedly, expanding faster than the speed of light. GBV is here, resubscribing for 29 months in a row. GBV, thank you ever so much for the subscription and the timely reminder that darkness is approaching. Let's get ready to use the bed. Nerdity says, hey Asuma, do you listen to any podcasts? I do. I love podcasts. It's become like a real, like, a thing I've really started to enjoy as of late. So much so that I've noticed it like cuts into my music listening time, so it always makes me feel like, music or podcast, music or podcast. Oh mate, I should start just putting on music while I listen to the podcast. Then my attention will be diverted a little bit. Tiddy Led says, Asuma, what's your view on ghosts then, real or not? I always think they're either recording the past etched onto the world or an alternate universe in the same place for a few seconds, and we have to use a window to their reality. So when I was a kid, I was really interested in ghosts and scary stuff. Reading ghost stories, looking at all those crazy old pictures. And then as I've gotten older, I've learned how those pictures are made. And learned to be a little bit more critical when listening to stories. Learned more about critical thinking. And so I'm not one of these people that like wants to be dismissive of ghosts and be like, you're talking rubbish or anything like that. I'm always curious. I'm always up for being entertained by it, but I can't think of anything really that has in any way seemed mysterious or potentially true in terms of ghost stories. It feels like just stuff that happens in the real world is far more interesting than this esoteric idea of ghosts and whatnot. With a little bit of critical thinking and learning to spot the flaws in arguments for ghosts, it really does. The evidence for their existence really feels like nothing. It's always seems to be with ghosts that it's about a word of mouth, right? Like someone's story is the evidence for a ghost existing. And I tell you what, one of the worst forms of evidence, not just in the case of ghosts, but of anything, like of trying to solve a crime, is us. We are incredibly malleable. Is that the right word? Or fallible, or whatever. Like, we think that we see and experience things very clearly, but the reality is we are not clear perceptors of our reality, and, you know, a person's testimonial as a witness is not the strongest form of evidence, really. It is in the court of law, believe it or not. I think that's how it works, that in a court of law, a human testimonial is taken as a strong form of evidence, but, man, there's so many reasons that our testimonials can be wrong. Like, our interaction with the world is constantly changing and shaded by, like, our mood or our energy levels. There's so many shortcomings in our perception of reality. And so when it comes to ghosts, I mean, the most stuff I've ever seen is simply just, you know, people's stories. That's it. It's always just stories, and nothing that can be replicable like science. So if ghosts exist, if that's your conclusion for whatever you've heard to convince you, why can't it be as clear as 1 + 1 = 2? Why is it all so esoteric and difficult to you know, make happen or see or right? Like, why is it all in these little stories and experiences? It's because I think it's just people's imaginations can run away with them or whatever, you know. Those things seem to explain it more. Now, I've also seen a lot of ghostly pictures and ghostly videos online and whatnot, and after a while, if you see something that at first seems like, oh, that's clearly a ghost caught on camera, you can learn and read, and, you know, stuff like the orbs that appear in people's cameras when they take pictures. These things can all be explained away. They're like natural phenomena, right? And so yeah, I like my experience with it has just been, it's always been a curiosity, it's always been fascinating, but as I've learned more about science and being a human, it just seems more and more so that this esoteric idea of ghosts existing among us just feels very, yeah, there's so many reasons to pick it apart, and it just feels whatever. Yeah, I think I made my point. Let's have a look at what chat is saying about all of this. What are y'all saying about ghosts? X, do you believe aliens exist? Says Matt Rats. Matt Rats is the Matt. I believe that given the odds of us existing on this planet, and the size of the universe, the amount of planets, etc., it seems very plausible that elsewhere in the universe there would be life. And then understanding the great amounts of energy and difficulty it is to traverse the astronomically and unbelievably long distances between us and other aliens, it would seem, or other living creatures, you know, it would seem highly implausible that we would be able to get to a point where we would have the technology to even travel to them or for them to travel to us. It's not totally impossible, but it's highly implausible. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. ACN Archangel is here with a donation saying, "Hey Asuma, I am so happy I finally caught one of your streams. Thank you for so much of the awesome content you put out. You're a big inspiration to us little guys. Sorry I can't donate more right now." ACN Angel, any donation is more than enough. I just appreciate all of you coming and hanging out with me. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I appreciate it, and I hope you're all enjoying the stream. ACN Archangel, thank you for the contribution to the channel. It is truly appreciated. So with that note on aliens, there are two things that come to my mind. And one of them... Oh, let's see. I've actually kind of lost my train of thought there. Do you believe in the afterlife? That'll be a question. That'll be our next question, Royce. Reminded me of that after the alien stuff. So, yeah, it seems like incredibly difficult and implausible for us to span these big problems, these big obstacles that are in the way of the likelihood that there is other life in the universe and that, you know, we could potentially reach it, right? These are these big problems in the way. So when it comes to your classic aliens, men in grey suits, there are two ways of looking at it. One is that if this big difficulty could be traversed, it would require tremendous technology and advanced knowledge and whatnot. It seems very bizarre that the way in which these aliens would land here is with little UFOs whizzing around our atmosphere and crashing, and then our government keeping it a secret. I mean, it feels very like a very odd level of technology, or a very odd way for that difficulty to be traversed. The other thing you can do as well is you can trace it as a cultural phenomena. If you look at what was happening in the media, in movies, there's like a hysteria at the time of UFOs, like a UFO hysteria. And it's like all of a sudden around the 50s, lots of people start reporting this. So then the question is, well, where are all the reports from the 40s, 30s and 20s? You could argue, well, it's because this is when it first actually happened and it put the idea in people's minds. It's a good argument to make, but like I said, the one before it, it just feels more like a cultural phenomenon, like an idea takes hold in people's minds in different forms. Are they scared of them? Are they curious? Do they want to believe? And it just creates all these stories that get circled around and people believe in this stuff, and then they start to link things together and create beliefs and conclusions without proper rational and scientific thought, right, towards what it is they're interested in. If there weren't UFOs, there were spy planes, says Volt Plays. Yep, there's, you know, again, so we've tackled the UFO and the alien stuff a little bit or whatever. When you get into the actuality of some of the things that have happened, that's where the more interesting stuff is. There's quite a lot of reports that I've heard throughout my time, many years ago. So many that I can't really give you specifics, but shows like the X-Files X-Files tackled this as well a little bit, that there have been reports of like government agents or just people in alien suits being caught, or like crashed aeroplanes that turned out to be government technology or whatever. And one of the ones I heard recently, listening to a conspiracy-related podcast, is that they reckon like the little green men and whatnot, like that the Russians would modify human aesthetics and then implant people in America to basically sow seeds of this crazy, like, you know, aliens and UFO stories and whatnot as a distraction. Like, there are many different ways of looking at it. But anyway, the X-Files kind of like did some episodes where they kind of went around this idea that people who had encountered aliens were actually encountering people like in the government as actors in suits, or, you know, with makeup, or however you want to describe it, right? And the idea is that they're like sowing misinformation to keep people diverted and distracted. And in terms of, like, you know, secret aircraft and whatnot, I mean, there have been American fighter planes that have come out, like that, is it the B-2 bomber and whatnot? And when that came out, like, it was like, oh my god, you got this incredible, you know, new fighter plane. But if you'd have seen it before it was known that it is just an American fighter plane, then you may have gone, oh, it's a UFO, right? I've never seen that before. If you think about what a UFO is, unidentified, you know, it's unidentified. I haven't identified it yet. Once everyone knows what the B-2 bomber looks like, no one's going, oh, it's a UFO. Audio Starfish 87 is here for the nation, saying, why do I always learn something when I enter this stream? Only if I could study space for GCSE. Why would you have to study it for GCSE? Study it for yourself. If it's your interest, start learning about it. I mean, there's plenty of information online on YouTube. I should probably stop collecting this now because my inventory's full, isn't it? I believe that is the case. Yeah, like, don't stop yourself from learning about anything you're curious in. The information is all out there. Always be skeptical of your information as well. Like, especially on YouTube, there's a lot of people that can talk like an expert and not be. Like me, for example. But if I haven't reminded you already, I always try to interject my own ignorances and where I get my information from. I try and tell you, hey, you know, I'm telling you this thing, but it's just some old memory from years ago. Like, I try and be very open about that because I'm very, very aware of how much of a dummy I am. Right, we filled up on some clay over here. We also got a donation in the ear from Lane saying, what advice would you give to someone who is 18 and just graduating high school, basically starting from square one? Also, thank you for the amazing content over the last several years. You know, if I could go back to being 18 myself with all that I know now, I would just say, like, take those things that feel like, oh, you don't want nothing to do with it, seriously. When people tell you about learning to save, about, you know, figuring out a job, figuring out a career path, and, you know, you've got to take ownership of life, really. And, you know, for me, that's all happened quite accidentally through YouTube very much liberating me to figure out who I am and where I want to go. I mean, I don't know your specific situation to give you specific advice, but in general is to get your head into a space where you're going to be true of yourself and analyze what's happening in your life and what's going on around you and figuring out your path and making the right choices, which are usually the tougher choices, right? You know, like getting up, you've got to get up early in the morning to do this thing and that thing. Like, the more of those choices you make, the hard ones where you've got to do the work, those are the ones that build the better path in life, you know. 18 characters says, my advice for an 18-year-old is to use a physical pen and paper to write your ideas down for the future down. Don't try and do it all in your head. Write them down. Free your brain processing unit to do more stuff. I'd agree with that as well. I'd agree for anyone who has aspirations, ideas, things that they want to do, get them in lists. From the big things to the small things. And, you know, over time, you might see something in your list where you're like, actually, I'm not really too interested in that anymore. But if you scale them, if you have, like, plans, you know, if you've got a list of things you need to do tomorrow, you might not forget to hang out the washing and not have smelly clothes, you know, or have to wash them again. Like, be on top of it. Be on top of it all. And organise it and free yourself of having to remember everything and wing it by writing down what's important and what needs doing. I mean, compared to other things, you know, washing your clothes is not as important as, I don't know what else, trying to think of an example. Responsibilities or whatever. Why is everyone... Oh, right, I get it. People are posting their age. Alright, cool. Lane and Audio Starfish, thank you ever so much for those donations. I appreciate it. We also have SpyHunter18 subscribing with Amazon Prime. SpyHunter18, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the stream. I was just checking my notes, peeps. We're going to go get some sheep next. That's the next job for a project I'm doing in the future. Does the AFK fish farm still work, says ZJed29. Yep, there's a tutorial on it on my channel for 1.14 if you want to go check it out. I'm watching this randomly from the Minecraft Wiki, says Babyman. You mean the Minecraft Wiki has a through link to streaming, and that happens to be me today or something? That's interesting. SpyHunter18 has subscribed with Amazon Prime as well 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit behind there. Thank you ever so much for using the Prime subscription on me, SpyHunter. We also got Bones615 doing the same thing. So Bones, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. I hope you are entertained and having a good time hanging out with us today. Our next question from chat was, I remember it, was do you believe in the afterlife? You know, when it comes to the afterlife and ideas of, I don't know, there being something beyond the life we're experiencing now, I'm very open to you know, it being maybe a thing, but I'm not gonna say it is, because I feel like I have absolutely no idea and very little tangible evidence to point towards that would suggest that there is an afterlife. A lot of the talk about consciousness and us going beyond, there's no other like terracotta box here, is there? Us going beyond our current existence always just seems to stem from words and not from like some physical evidence or something replicatable. Oh, I picked one out with sand in. So for me, you know, it feels like it's a question that I don't need to answer. If I die and then there's an afterlife, then cool. That's great. And if there's not, I'm fine with that as well. I'm very much fine with it. We don't understand what death really is, so we just don't know, says Dogiwap. Exactly. Yeah, it feels like what seems most obvious, based on what we can actually say and prove scientifically, would just point to ambiguity. I don't think science can exactly prove that there isn't something after as much as it can't prove that there is. So it seems kind of silly to say it'd be in one way or the other. Cuplex says, what are these odd jobs that you'll be doing? Just errands, just going around. Hey, I've got to go get some sheep. Hey, I've got to build a tunnel. Hey, I've got to gather this material. Just prepping for future episodes. That's what we do on these streams. We do the grind and we chat. We know what death is like. Think about what it was like not being born. It's the same thing. Enjoy the trip while you're here, says Audiax MC. I would say actually to that, I get your point. It's a nice point, but I kind of disagree. You sparked an idea in my head, which is, but what if death isn't like before life? What if we think of this life when we talk about an afterlife, but you never hear about the before life, right? And this is very interesting, I think. Audax MC has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much for subscribing, Audax. I appreciate it. Like, before life and afterlife might not actually be the same thing. And the fact that we talk about the afterlife more than the before life, to me, speaks a lot to our fear of death. That people have a desire for there to be an afterlife because they don't want to die or whatever. Which I don't want to die either, but I accept that it will happen. Now, the fact, again, like, I think this is a clever way to think about it, that we focus on the afterlife speaks to, you know, that mortality, right? If you're wondering why that's glowing, I was doing some lag busting and I must have unloaded the chunks. So after a few seconds, it will stop glowing. So what I do is I run glowing effects on entities whenever they have a high accumulation in our debugging report. And we had a high accumulation yesterday, and I was trying to see if there was a cluster of them anywhere. And I guess I unloaded those chunks just to explain what's going on there. Oh, excuse me, got a bit of a stuffy nose there. That probably didn't sound so great. So yeah, what is this? Very odd, very odd. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to leave it alone. So yeah, the fact that we focus on an afterlife and we have all these stories and ideas about an afterlife, I think speaks more to our fear of mortality. If we had some real ideas about consciousness, which I'm sure some people do actually, and what happens before and after, then, you know, I would suspect they would be consistent in both directions, or maybe not. Maybe they don't have to be consistent. But do you see my point? It's like the aftermath takes up our attention, the afterlife, sorry, and I believe that speaks to our fear of our own mortality, really. So we've got noises in the ear. We got Night Reaper 1989 here with a donation. And my friend, I'll read it in just a moment. We are looking for sheep. Sheep. Shibbity sheep sheep. Where are the sheep? I need them sheep. I'm scanning the horizon. It's actually a little easier like this. Hey, 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 hey. You in the forest flower, where are your friends? I heard about them. Night Reaper in 1989 is here saying, my advice to a new young adult job-wise, if you don't know what you want to do, at least do something until you do. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does facilitate it. Great word. Also, X, what are you doing to prune chunks from a world these days? I don't actually prune chunks at the moment. I think I might do at some point this season, just because we've loaded so much excess stuff and our world download is getting kind of excessive. Ah, look, two together over here. That's just what I wanted to see. Also, wouldn't it be cool if this river here connected all the way through the ocean? I might go look at the map and check that. Okay, so let's do that. No. Okay, we've got to wait a little bit. Let's get the program loaded that does the thing while we wait. It's that program there. Right, I'm going to get a map that you won't be able to see of our world. Hopefully I have... Oh yeah, I do. I have... Let's have a look. Saves. Yes, that one there. Sweet, I can load it up. Yeah, so I wanted to speak to that idea of having a job in a moment. I am Theric, has resubscribed for 11 months, saying, hey, it's been a while since I watched your stream. How you been? I've been fantastic. Doing all good over here. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for the support. One more month, Goldie Face in chat. We also got Princess Sheep for 22 months, saying change back to Prime Sub for a few months, and finally caught up on X2. Well, thank you ever so much for using the Prime subscription. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Glad you're making use of the second channel. For anyone who doesn't know, I have a second channel where you can watch all of the live streams after they've been streamed over here. Also, feel free to hit that follow button. We got 1,243. If only a 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of you tune out, okay? No, messing with you. Yeah, hit the follow button. Thank you ever so much for the support. Appreciate it, peeps. So yeah, about having a job and being money smart. Like these were lessons that I was fortunate to learn from my dad, who was quite. Aha, okay, I'm looking at a map, and actually we can get to Tower Bay through the ocean from here. Let's get that underway, and then let's actually go through this a little bit. Let's grab one sheep, grab two sheep. You're standing in that hitbox. Don't stand there. I saw two sheep over here, right? Where's the other one? There you are, mister. Nope, don't go anywhere. Okay, let's get this sorted out, and then we can talk about this stuff, right? Excellent. Oh, no, is it? Is it? Because I'm freaking out. Right, okay, so I need to get in there. And now we should see... We have this one behind us. Sweet. So I know where I'm going, and we've probably got about a day to do it. Let's get these sheep somewhere else. What happened to your stream deck and posh overlays, says Ed Network. Oh, they're on the screen. I can see them. Thank you everyone for hitting follow. I can hear the follow noise going off over and over again. Appreciate you doing that. We got Let's Play MR, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Let's Play MR, thank you for subscribing. So in terms of like getting a job, I mean, some people, you know, kids, young adults come out of school, they get a job, they're decent people, they know what to do. I weren't like that, okay? I had a terrible time at school, and then I came out not knowing my place in the world, not knowing what was important, etc., etc. So I didn't do too good. Like, for me, this YouTube thing has really saved me. It's been incredible, like the whole thing, in many different ways. And, you know, there are things that I learned from this that I wish I could have told my younger self. Because one of them is, like, you know, working a job, as much as it might suck and all you want to do is party and hang out and all that stuff, like, it's incredibly important, because as you get older, you will change. Different things will become important to you. And the idea of saving up money and working a job is actually really important. I've got to keep F5 on here so I can see the lead behind us, don't I? Jono BR has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Jono BR, thank you ever so much for subscribing. I appreciate your support and I hope you enjoy the stream. So, like, when you get a paycheck, it's so easy to just spend it on whatever's going on around you, but it's really smart to just put it away and save it for another day, because as you get older, you're going to have more responsibilities, you're going to have to take care of yourself more, and you're going to need money in the bank, let's avoid that, to be able to, you know, take care of yourself when life happens. You don't know what's going to pop up and be in your way, and that's why you need savings. But it also speaks to what you want to do in your life as well. Like, there'll be points where you might want a career change, and having like a lump of cash to fall back on in a bank account, you know, goes a long way if you want to make a career change. It might be that you figure out that you want to do this thing, you really want to do it, but you might be locked into a dead-end job and you have bills and rent to pay. And so if you're going to be able to do these things, even if you haven't figured them out yet, you're going to need to have money saved up in the bank and whatnot. I mean, I won't go into, like, details of how to budget and stuff, but those are things you should go, if this is, like, speaking to you and you're thinking, yeah, I don't know what I want to do, but I'll work a job and save up. Like, learn how to budget, learn how to manage your money, because it's so easy just to be out and about and be like, you know, I'll have that, that thing interests me. You have to learn how to be a little bit frugal sometimes, and it's good for the long run. You know, you never know what you might want to do. There might be some new career path, or you might just want to go on a holiday somewhere. There might be something happening in the world where you need to travel and you need to finance it, fund it even. Voyagerist says, not just money, work experience too. I was having trouble getting a job because I had one in a while, and so no recent references. Yeah, I wonder what that'll be like for me after YouTube, because my only reference is myself. But I think being like, showing someone a YouTube channel and saying this took like tons of hours of discipline and whatnot. And to be fair, I think most people understand, like, YouTube can be a pretty dedicated job, right? You know, I think it exists there as a bulk of work that should be obvious to most people that I have been pretty dedicated and hardworking. So yeah. Right, we're almost at Tower Bay now. A rough estimate, remainder is 1/3 for now, 1/3 for later, 1/3 ends up with the tax man, says Tuxaban. Yeah, I was watching some videos about financing recently, and it said that as well. I don't really quantify it in thirds or this amount or that amount. I'm just like frugal. It's like I have my expenses or whatever, and I'm always trying to be smart with every decision when I buy something, you know, and assess if I really need something or not, right? And just be as smart at each particular point. Right, so we got to lure these two into the base now. Let's press F3 and B so we don't actually accidentally smack them in the face. There we go. No accidental smacks to the face. Good. And let's bring them in. Come on in, sheepies. We got noises in the air. It's Ollie95XZ gifting a sub to Lorelli for 15 months. Ollie, thank you so much for gifting the sub. Good to have you back with us, by the way. As I said the other day, usually always see your message first, and then for the longest time there was no message, but glad to have you back. Lorelli says, geez, thanks Ollie. Ha ha ha. There you go, Lorelli. You're a goldie face as well. Oh, this area got rolled back. We put blocks there and they're gone. Huh. Yeah, that happened. Luckily we didn't do too much in this area at all. Okay, so which building should the sheep go in? We've got the Concourt building. We've got the mushroom floor down here. I kind of need a big base in which to build a sheep farm, right? And the biggest base is actually that one. I might put them in here and ask Concorp if I can build a sheep farm in the basement. Have like a shared residence going on, you know. Okay, sheepy sheep. We need to breed them up as well. So they're going to need a pen. Let's grab this. Slap it down over there. Grab some wood. And then we've got plenty of those. Actually, that one we got the most of. Alright, little sheepies. Stay in this area, please. We're going to give them a little bit of land to roam around in, you know. Not going to be too tight on the space. That right there should do. Just in case this is a little bit close. Let's rip out that. And then let's also make it so they can't get caught in little areas like that. Sweet. Okay, so that should do it just fine. Now we've got to breed them up a little bit, so I'm going to need some bone meal. Sweet, we'll take that. When does season 7 come? I want season 6 to stay, says Dragomar. Do you know what? When I started reading that message, I was like, oh, another person. Oh, jeez, we've got a sub bomb here. We'll read that in a second. I was thinking, another person wants season. Like, we got the most amazing season. You want the next one? Like, come on now. I was thinking. But no, you want it to stay. Well, that's great because. How do we do this again? We got. I think it's bone meal that goes in the offhand. No, it's not, is it? Maybe it's seeds then. Ha, got ya. Anyway, peeps, spoiler alert, season 7 happens after season 6. So we've got a sub bomb here. LeeAnimal7, thank you ever so much for gifting the subs to the community. Truly appreciate you supporting everyone here. We've got 5 gifted subs. If you hear your name being read out loud, you are now a subscriber. We've got Valis _ Yol Wookle, Celestial, Toasty Frog, Afonzi Vladimir. If you just heard your name being read out loud, be sure to throw a love heart in chat, LeeAnimal7's way. And thank you again, LeeAnimal, for supporting the community. It was very kind of you to do that. Toasty the Bear says, address the root cause of the habit. What are we talking about here? What habit? Jeez. Craft Assist says, Asuma, what do your parents think of your job as a YouTuber streamer? I mean, they're very happy for me because they know I love it. But it's something totally outside of their like realm. They don't, you know, watch YouTube or anything like that. Got no idea really what it's about. 1.14 be like 0 FPS in a jungle with flowing water, says JCH. Jungles are definitely problematic. I'm not sure if they're actually aware of that or not, but there's certainly some issues over in the jungle. Trungle in the jungle. This is kind of slow. Like, normally the solution here would be to build a micro farm, right? I think I've probably got more than enough to last me a while. Let's not spend all stream. Okay, standing over here making seeds and wheat. How many times am I going to breed them? Just 2, because then we're doing the off. So, 2 pieces of wheat. Let's get a 3rd sheep in here. Because we're starting a sheep family today. Jace Venture, welcome to the stream. Glad you like the Hermitcraft videos. These have always been issues in the jungle ever since they rewrit the game gen code. I remember it being an issue at one point or another in 1.13, but didn't they fix it by the time it came out? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, little sheepies, make love. Make a baby, so we can cheer it. Okay, that goes in there. This goes in here. And then backpack, we got the leads in there. Where'd the bed go? Went in some other slot. I feel like I've missed something. Oh wait, the boat. Yeah, the boat would be in there, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Okay, so we're good to leave this area now. Let's get some food down here. Well, that was bound to happen at one point or another. That's no! This was supposed to be a derp-free stream, okay? Ugh. Jeesh. Yeesh. As I like to say. Yeesh. We got Senior Salmon here, resubscribing 4 months. Senior Salmon, thank you ever so much for resubscribing, appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying hanging out with us today, having a chill time here. Let's have a look. So we've herded sheep and we've gathered clay. I can mark that off of my list. Then we got several other things to do. And I think we'll go make a tunnel. Let's go do the tunnel thing. Oh, by the way, we're 1 hour into the stream. And it's time for an eye break. I also need to go to the little boys' room. So I'll be right back. Peeps, this is your opportunity to drink some water. You know, get up, move around, stretch your legs. Oh, look, there's a bit of mocha left. Dirty, dirty mocha. But yeah, look away from the screen. Anyway, I'll be right back. And we're back. Right. Obsidian. No ender chest. Where do we get a new ender chest from, peeps? How do we troll him when he gets back, says Emmendan MC. You have been caught red-handed. Trying to troll X. Oh, how could you? Filthy. Filthy. So... what are we doing now? Oh yeah, the tunnel. We're going to make a simple tunnel. Although, it kind of feels like it's one of those ones that should perhaps not be too simple. Because it's the spawn island tunnel that we need to work on. Just trying to think of where Concord Boys has... oh, I thought that was water on top for a moment there. I was going to dive into it. Okay, so I can take that and I can... Probably later on I'll need another one and I'll be like, oh jeez, I forgot to do that important thing. I forgot to do that important thing. Marine Tuck is here, resubscribing for 5 months in a row, saying, been gone a while, nice to be back. Marine Tuck, thank you ever so much for your subscription and welcome back. Hope you're enjoying the stream we're doing here today. Dylan says it's difficult to watch a 160p stream. Yeah, I imagine so. Not a lot of quality is going to come through that, right? Let's go... oh, do you know what? We've got something on the server we can use for this. That's going to be a lot of fun. What is... oh, wait. I've learned this recently. We go to this ball, first of all. Nice landing, if I may say so myself. Why have an ender chest in your ender chest, Anakin line? You've just literally witnessed the answer to that question. Peeps, why does Asuma have an ender chest in his ender chest? Come on now. Come on. I mean, I've just answered that question with my actions, I'm pretty sure. What direction are we going? North. Yeah, north. Wait, no, is it not north? It's not north, it's this way. I don't know where I'm going. This is the way, it's over here. John RS is subscribing with Amazon Prime. John RS, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. I appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the live stream. Ah, it'll be over here now. Why do you keep an ender chest? Look, just think back through the events that have happened, okay? You've just witnessed why it's a good idea to keep ender chests in your ender chest. Okay? Think about it. Use your noggin. Right, here is our spawn portal. It might get moved a little bit to be in line with the center, but that's fine. So we have something on the server now that I showed in a video. So if I go this, NC. What does NC stand for? Also, why do we still have the Kill Cod pack? That shouldn't be... How do we have the kill cod pack still on here? That should have been deleted. Right, NC. What does it stand for? Nether coordinates? That's probably it. I thought it would be something different. In overworld. Okay, so we are... That's it. That's it. I leave it in chat, right? I open up chat and I see the numbers. That's amazing. This data pack is available on Vanilla Tweaks, by the way, peeps. So, first of all, minus 166. So it's further behind me. And the other one is 127. So it's literally further in that diagonal direction. Okay, so let's go to the tunnel up top and try and find 166 first of all. Or we could put it on the north tunnel. I mean, the west has a lot in it, so we could just go and put it on this side. So we go as far as 166, which is kind of almost there. Like, we could build it into this bit, and then we go 100 or so blocks in. I like the idea of that. So we could put it here and go 100 blocks in this. Quartz! I'm taking the quartz! Yay! Free quartz. I had to mine it though. More quartz! I can't. Who on earth did this? I can't believe you didn't take all the free quartz. Remember, I'm the quartz thief on the server. I now instantly remember declaring my neutrality on the matter of the quartz last season. That was amazing, that bit. Thank you for all your data packs, by the way. I've used several on my server, says Ixalicat. There's a really fantastic one coming out on Isuma 2 tomorrow. I'd love for us to use it on this server. It looks a little bit like a mod, I'll say. So it might take some convincing with the other hermits. Well, you know, I'm not going to try and twist their arm or anything. If they don't want it, that's fine. But it's super discreet and super... Well, it's not discreet. It's just very useful without being... You know, really changing gameplay too much. It's just some stuff that's just like kind of inconvenient, right? Like pulling out a calculator and calculating the nether portal over and over again. We just got a little pack that does it in game and just throws you a text message. It's similar to that. It's going to just be a very handy utility thing, basically. Tuxaban's guessed it. I think some of you have seen previews on my Discord. Oh, I've got a reason to plug the Discord. Where's the Discord button? It works today. The other day it didn't work. Do you remember that? We got a Discord server. Discord.gg/Asuma. If you come and join, we have a Vanilla Tweaks channel, and people have seen previews of this pack on there. And you can join in the discussion. You can suggest. There's also this whole area on there now called Asuma's Corner. You can talk music over there. You can talk snapshots and myth busting. And there'll probably be a Hermitcraft channel at some point as well. Okay, so if you're wondering while I'm doing this, it's just to try to clear a path a little bit. There's going to be ghast spawning, and while we don't know what we're doing yet, let's just try and keep our little area kind of together, you know. Asuma's got the best Discord change in my mind, says Ari. I agree, it's definitely the best of all those Discord servers. Minecraft needs more utility updates. New mobs are great and all, but I want more functionality, says Tama. I would like to see something like that, yeah. Koroscoffy says, what's the best option to support a streamer, donating or subscribing? I mean, donating has a bigger percentage going to me, but if you subscribe, you get little perks, you know, pop-ups on the screen, emotes, and, you know, that's a way for you to get something as well. So do whatever you're most comfortable with, really, but if you do the subscribing, you get a little something back for yourself directly there as well. Minecraft needs a bigger inventory, says Ragnar. Couldn't agree more. So let's just double check. 127, right? Oh, no. 16. Oh, I might have got it entirely wrong. Oh, I did just get it entirely wrong, didn't I? Everything I did was entirely pointless because I got the numbers the wrong way around. Really? Really thought I had that nailed down. So if I were to go from here... I would start the tunnel. Yeah, I would start the tunnel like. Wait, no, I keep swapping them over in my head. So the reason it's not working here is because it's entirely the wrong way. It would be closer to the other side. So 127 is actually like here. It's actually in. Oh, so this thing isn't going to need a tunnel, basically. Oh, jeez, whatever. Now they're all going, derp Suma, derp Suma. Shut up. Shut up, the lot of you. So the place it would actually be would be here. So I think what I'm going to do is rip that out and put it just behind there. And we'll try and do this in a way that doesn't look terrible because it's right next to the other portal, right? I think I know how to do this actually. We can make this look nice-ish. We'll do it like we did my little project, if you remember that. So we'll use sandstone to make like a 3x3 space here with a light source at the top. Oh, I can't believe that. Oh, y'all saying dirt. I've got to press the dirt button again. I'll give you that. Right, now I'm worried. There's been 2 derps in a row. By the way, we got a noise in the ear from Zodiac Siren, who I believe I saw and then got distracted 4 minutes ago. Zodiac, I'm so sorry for being a derp and being distracted. Zodiac Siren here with the cheers and the bits. Say, Morning X just finally got a Twitter and now I follow every hermit. Plus, happy news, my emotes got approved. Awesome, well done. Yeah, getting your emotes set up on Twitch is a lot of fun. I've got to do more of those actually, I've forgotten about that. Oh yeah, this thing's full of junk as well, if I'm not mistaken. More, well, sort of junk. Sand is pretty useful. Speaking of which, we need sandstone. That jogged my memory, didn't it? Oh, that jogged my memory about that thing from literally seconds ago. Oh, making a fool of myself again, am I? We got noises in the ear. Zodiac Siren, thank you ever so much for the cheers and the bits. We got Matt's Best Man here with a donation saying RIP Slay videos. Yeah, I'm sorry, my man. I feel like they just run their course, you know. I haven't had the itch to play for a while. I'm not surprised as well because making all those videos kind of really got that out of my system. And I'm doubtful. I imagine what I'll do is one in a blue moon every now and then, right? But as of right now, I'm not really geared up to do that. So I apologise, but I hope you understand. You know, we had a lot of fun making them, and yeah, I kind of feel like I just exhausted that project a little bit, that game. But thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. I hope you understand. We got Corsa Coffee. If I could speak properly, jeez. Corsa Coffee says, I don't need no perks. Well, that's cool. If you don't want them, that's absolutely fine. Thank you for making the donation. I appreciate that. It helps with the channel, of course. And thank you so much, Corsa Coffee, again. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Let's see. We need some obsidian. There's some there. There's some already there. Where did that come from, eh? Came from a derp. That's literally the origin. This obsidian was made with derping. Okay. So that's going to be the portal. Smooth sandstone we'll put behind it, or maybe not actually. Maybe we'll go with green around the sides here. So I thought I was going to be ending up building a big old tunnel, but no, this has actually turned out to be pretty straightforward. You know. Anyway, one more noise in the ear from Captain Norway. Thank you to all of you for the donations today, by the way. Captain Norway is here saying, Yo, X finally caught your stream. It's going to be great to watch while I'm AFK fishing on the SMP I'm on. Awesome. Well, I hope your fishing goes well and you get a mending book. You know, I've seen quite a lot of people saying you can't get mending in 1.14, but there's nothing in the loot tables that suggests you wouldn't unless they hard-coded a patch. But has anyone got mending from fishing in 1.14? I haven't had the time to test it. Captain Norway, thank you ever so much for your donation. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, some people are saying they've got it many times. Some people are saying it's rare. Okay, well, if a few people are saying they have, then they have. You know, unless they're lying, which I doubt they are. It sounds like maybe what's happened is they made it a little bit rarer to get, something along those lines. It's certainly changed nothing in the loot tables. Sweeney reckons it's more rare, but it's a thing. Do you know what's more likely? It's probably that they've not made it rarer. It's just that they've added new enchantments that you get, right? So it's less likely to get it. As all of them are less likely to be got, right? What do I need here? Dyes. I need some dyes. I need a crafting table. Look, you know, all I want to do is place a few blocks, and I've got to put down a gazillion of these things, right? Let's do that much. Sweet. And then we go over here. And then we fill in all of this. And now I need my flint and steel. Nice. We've got a noise in the ear from Fritoy911. Resubscribing for 2 months in a row. Fritoy, thank you ever so much for subscribing. Appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're having a good time hanging out with us as I talk like this. Right, let's not talk like that. Almost there, almost there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Check for silk touch. It's silk touch. Okay, that actually looks pretty cool when you open it up like that, right? I guess the spawn chunk should have a banner as well. Totally should have the globe banner, shouldn't it? How do we get the globe banner? Don't you have to have a villager with the right trade? That's probably going to be a wormhole of stuff. Trying to find a villager with the right trade. But a globe banner there would be perfect, wouldn't it? I was going to say, I guess I could go check impulses, but impulses will have the old trades. I don't think there is going to be a quick way to get this. I think you need like a leveled up villager. But that's something for me to do. I think I might put that down on my plan of things to do. Right? I got a really nice idea on how I could implement that. Okay, I've made a note. So we've now done that. So I'll ask you all a question. Would you like to see me build a tunnel to the place where we are farming, building that chunk farm with the slime blocks and the wither roses? Or would you like me to build a tunnel to there, or would you like me to work on the project? So basically we go in there, we could build a tunnel that goes to it, or we could work on the project itself. And we got a noise in the ear from Captain Norway, who's also resubscribed for 2 months, saying whoop-de-doo. Captain Norway, thank you ever so much for your subscription, I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It looks like in chat the majority is project. There's 1 or 2 saying tunnel, but everyone wants the project to be worked on. Alright, okay, we'll do the project then. We will do the project. Course Coffee says, I'd like to see the project itself in an episode rather than a chat tunnel thing. I'd rather a chat tunnel thing. Well, the project that I'm doing is going to be like grindy like a tunnel would. Tunnel would just involve a little bit of creativity. The stuff that I've got to do for the project is just, you know, just another grind really. Fun grind though, right? No, not really. Why aren't you using a lighter in the nether? Just couldn't be bothered. Don't know really, I should be using it, shouldn't I? I was just like, Don't forget to fix the tunnel you just broke. Oh, there was nothing to fix, we didn't build anything. We just went in there and stole some quartz and that was it. At a dance right now and got rejected by my crush, so I'm in a random classroom watching this. Dude, that must suck. Sorry to hear that, man. Claudius. That's a tough one, dude, but don't worry, there'll be others. Wait, I'm totally... Have I gone past? I think I've gone past it. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, peeps are putting love hearts in chat for you now, dude. It'll be alright, don't worry, there'll be others. It ain't as big a deal as you think. Whoa! Yeesh! Ugh. Whoa, goodness me. Okay, there we go. Right. Isn't the globe pattern creative only? No, 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 it can be done in survival. Let's stay away from the zombie and the creeper. Let's see, I've got a little bit of work to do. We've got to fly over to an island and demolish it. That was one job. And then we've got to come back here and start transforming this island. What do I want to do with it? Rip it all out or slab it? I'm not really sure. Okay. That's a beautiful island, says Bob Leone. I can smell the sarcasm. Just finished my own Nether hub, even using admin commands like fill and clone, and it still took 10 weeks to complete. Looks so awesome. Glad I didn't get burned out. I'd love to play in a creative world at some point, like Hermitcraft, just with creative mode, because you can just do things on a really different scale using all the commands available. I think it'd be such a fun experience, but you know, I've said many times before, it's very difficult to pick up multiple Minecraft projects for me, because you know, Hermitcraft is 90% of the time. Etho's Dirt Island 2.0, says Puzzle Freck. Chocolate Island. That's actually what we did in Season 3. The end of Season 3, I'm pretty sure we had Chocolate Island. We called it that as well. Chocolate Island 2 or something. Okay, so that's it. Just needed to get rid of that little bit there. And then we need to transform this in a way that's desirable, I guess. There also needs to be caving and stuff done in this area. I think I'll start off by just removing the shores a little bit, because they are the easiest to take care of. But these are all spawning spaces, so I can either light it up, I can slab it, or I can just cover it over with water, which I think is what I want to go with. Just cover it with water and then do my project in the middle. So yeah, this is our fate now. Just doing this. Zed probably won't want to know your trick to get rid of grass. Oh, he'll want to know. Well, it was just a race against the clock, really. I had the eye in the sky helping me spot when I'd missed some grass as well. Luigia Kaboom has subscribed. Luigia Kaboom! Thank you ever so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Peeps, I just realised something. I'm talking about what you haven't seen yet. Today's episode of Hermitcraft, you'll see... So this is all spoilers. Great, I'm spoiling my own episode. Well, exclusive preview. 1,360 of you get an exclusive preview on today's episode of Hermitcraft. It's still good though. The editing that I did, I thought was really cool for the time lapse. I love editing the time lapses, but I've done them so many times now. Every time I go and do one, I try and think of like a new way to make it interesting, and I definitely found that today. I did something I'd not quite done before. If you figure out what it is when you're watching the time lapse, leave a comment and let me know, because it'd be interesting to see what people think of it and if they spotted the fancy editing techniques or not. You know, it might have just looked like some normal Minecraft business, but it wasn't. It was not normal, I'll tell you that. By the way, I'm not collecting all this dirt, right? Because I don't think I'm going to need it, and I've already got mountains of the stuff. Upload the episode now, says Floss. And why would I upload it now? It's already been uploaded. And I'm streaming. Do you want me to degrade the quality of the stream or something? Jeez. Lol, I'll watch it anyway, says the Zen boy. Cool. I mean, it'll still be entertaining, you know. There'll still be something to watch. Oh yeah, we've got Instant Mine still. That's great. That is great. Well, this has certainly been a stream of mining blocks. Now, what's the next topic we're going to talk about, right? We talked about ghosts. We talked about aliens. I mean, surely there's some other stuff we could talk about. Does anyone have any cool ghost stories? I always find them interesting. I used to remember some quite well, but it's just a topic I haven't engaged with for a long time. I got a bit tired of watching all the ghost stuff. It just feels like all those ghost shows on TV. It's the same old thing. Oh, I'm getting something in the back of my throat here. Chelsea says, X, are you voting in the EU elections? I'm so disillusioned with the political system at the moment. I don't even want to vote for anyone. It's been a complete joke, the whole Brexit thing. Complete joke. Probably going to see a second referendum and us back out of it, I reckon, is what they're strategizing. I mean, that would make sense for May to step down and do that, so our party can change their course with a new leader, right? And do what they probably think is the best thing to preserve their power. That would be my take, my very ignorant and uninformed take on May resigning. Ollie says, I have a ghost story. I was there. I literally, as I read the first line, I knew what you were going to say. I was at their show back in February and it was amazing. Hope to see them again in September with Metallica. Yeah, I've seen ghosts many times in my life. Oh, what a joke. I like it. Do you drink energy drinks like Monster or Hell, says Dime Drev. I do not. I do not drink them at all. I don't drink sugary drinks. I don't really like them. I drink water and tea. That's about it for me. Orange juice I really like. Apple juice is great. I don't have those so often. And I only have like actual apple juice and orange from an orange, right? I don't like that processed, well not processed, but like artificial flavouring stuff, right? No, I don't do the energy drinks at all. I watched a video, you know, you'll hear me say it time and time again about challenging your own perspective and opinions. I did actually watch a video from someone who I know is very objective, and they did a video on the ingredients of these energy drinks, and they did, you know, because they're quite objective and I trust their judgment, they did a lot of research to figure out what are in these energy drinks. You know, they kind of make it sound like they're not as bad as someone like I would say they are, right? Like, hey, they're not the worst thing ever. They're not like drinking liquid... what's that liquid uranium? It's not like that. Like, but I think the problem, and again, this is what gets said of sugar when people try to argue a bit more objectively that sugar isn't all that bad because, you know, sugar is like all carbohydrates. It's how people interact with it that I think is really important, and the whole culture of energy monster drinks usually seems to be from a kind of less active crowd, right? Like, I don't really see a lot of fitness people touting energy monster drink. They're drinking their green teas and their bottles of water most of the time, it seems like. So, yeah, although they might not be that bad, it tends to be like a lifestyle thing. Like it's associated with gaming a lot, and gaming is sitting on your ass for hours and hours all day. It's like not a good combination. If you're gonna have some Monster energy drinks, make sure you're not having them too regularly. Your nutrition's good. You're drinking, you're eating lots of good nutritious food, and that you burn off those calories, those extra calories that it's gonna put in your body. You know. Essentially. I used to be addicted to Red Bull for a few months, and I am an active guy, but I was using it while I was not active, and I craved it so bad, says Keegan. Yeah, when I had drunk them in the past, I found that they created really strong cravings, and I was quite fortunate not to get, you know, too sucked into consuming them. But yeah, that's the thing. They're addictive. Many things are. Addiction is possibly more about your personality than substance sometimes, but yeah, I don't consume. I drink water. I keep it simple. Water and tea, that's all I need. We've got a dolphin over here with us now. X swore, grab the pitchfork, says your everyday J Twitch. Did I swear? Don't recall swearing. Keys Flake says, what do you think about Flazier in his 5-year hardcore world? I'd never heard of that name until that story, and I'm interested. I'm surprised how many people keep mentioning it in my chat. I guess perhaps they're probably a streamer or like a YouTuber or something, right? So it's quite a big deal for some people. I mean, yeah, it sucks if you lose a world you've been in for so long, but you know, there's always a chance it could happen, I guess. Komoy says, sips her V energy drink, shrugs. Well, you know, you can drink it if you want to, but just know what you're drinking, what it's doing to your body. And okay, it's official. I'm going to build a derpy Asuma shrine in my survival world. I'll tweet you a picture of it, Asuma, says Ari. I look forward to seeing it. Sounds derpy. Do you think the caves need an overhaul in 1.15? Yeah, I think the whole caving experience of the game is... That is a dirt block in my face. Interesting. Right. Oh, what did I just throw on? Did I throw something on the ground? No, wait, I pressed the offhand key. That makes sense. There we go. There we go. And this. X, you see an AIC tonight? I wanted to see yesterday's, but I couldn't get the time off. I have no idea that they were playing. But no, I'm not seeing Alice in Chains tonight. could potentially have the time. Oh god, that'd be such a squeeze if I had to go to a gig as well. Could have potentially had the time for that. Life tip, don't drink liquid nitrogen. It will freeze your body because it's minus 200C. Sounds like some good life advice, thanks. If ever I'm offered the old liquid nitrogen, I'll be like, no thanks. Not today. Don't really feel like it. Don't feel like freezing my literal body off. Okay, this is in the way. Clearly this is in the way, but it's necessary. I don't know why I have 2 of these buckets in my inventory, but I do. I have 2 of them. Rightio, let's get around this side now. Oh, by the way, we had a noise in the ear. Ovlov1980. Thank you ever so much, Ovlov, for subscribing. I apologise for being distracted and not seeing it. Thank you ever so much. I apologise for being 5 minutes late. That might, if I'm late again, I think it might constitute as a derp, you know. Might have to press that old dirt button. What are the plans for this area again, says Chowster? To build a farm, which we have already started building. It's going to be a mega farm though. I'm plotting all these ways to make it better and better. Okay, let's set a marker of like here. We're going to go as far as here. What is your opinion on alcohol consumption, says Sippy? You know, I have a very unfavourable view on alcohol, but I don't hold it against anyone who's into drinking it. I just really don't like it and don't like the culture of alcohol. And I'll be totally upfront about that. You might be like, oh, you're a butt or whatever, but I can't stand it. I don't like intoxication culture of any kind, really. The only drugs that seem vaguely like interesting or whatever to me are like psychedelics. When I hear people talk about psychedelics, not in a like a whoa freaky tripping out kind of way, but in a like unlocking this other plane of consciousness or existence that supposedly you can get to through things like meditation. I mean that sounds sort of interesting to me, but I don't think it would make me want to take drugs or anything, or take them. I don't know. It certainly interests me, but yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. Intoxication culture to me, it's just I don't really think about it a lot. I just stay away from it. I'd rather feel sharper mentally without alcohol so I can perform at my peak, says Mark. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I feel like I get a big kick out of being healthy, alive, energetic, and not out of being intoxicated and subdued by it or being in an altered state of mind because of it. Yeah, like things are really enjoyable sober and being in the best kind of sober you can be. Like it's related to health. It's like the healthier, the physically fitter you are, the better things just feel. Being active, being out and about, doing stuff, and I love that. I love just enjoying everything, you know, as is, sober. And you can make the whole argument about how your brain is all full of chemicals anyway, you know, changing your moods and stuff, but I just like it that way. What do you think about marijuana as a medicine? Not necessarily smoking it for the high, but ingesting pills or oils for health reasons. I think drugs as a whole get lumped into this kind of category of being drugs, right? And less talked about objectively. There's clearly some people who are getting necessary health benefits from using the cannabis oils, the CBD and all of that. I think if they want to do it in their life, it's the same way if someone wants to drink alcohol in their life, it's their choice. You know, if someone's using it for medical reasons, it just seems, if there's a medical component to it, it seems that it could be taken advantage of that way, you know? Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. for medical use. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it anyway, right? Like I said, it's like, I don't like intoxication culture, but I'm not going to make that someone else's problem, right? Like, I'm not going to go around shouting ban alcohol. You know, I'd rather, as always, I'd rather talk about it. Like, if you hear my opinions, it might change your mind. If I hear your opinions, it might change yours. Let's like have a proper discussion and get facts or whatever on the table, get opinions on the table, but like let people see the whole way of looking at things as opposed to just telling other people how it should be done. Obviously, you could apply what I just said to something terrible, like do you want to wear? Oh, I don't want to wear a. I don't want to wear a. Oh God, what is it? A car belt seat. Why does that not sound right in my head? Car belt seat? Why does that not sound right to me? Seat belt. Yeah, car belt seat. My brain couldn't figure that one out. It's a seat belt. My brain was just like, car, belt, seat. Well, this doesn't feel right to me. This doesn't add up properly. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, like, the problem with some of the stuff I say like that is that you can always apply it to the like, well, here's something everyone should do. Everyone should wear a, again, my brain is saying car belt seat. Everyone should wear a seat belt in a car, right? Because it saves lives and whatnot. And it's the law now. Like, and not a lot of people are advocating for freedom to not wear them, right? Because they're clearly beneficial. That being said, when the... Again, my brain is saying car belt seat. When the seat belt was first introduced, car companies really resisted it and campaigned to like not have them basically. And they had public opinion on their side at one point or another, but then, you know, over time they got put in and it saved lives, and that kind of ended that really. I do something controversial. I drive with my headlight on regardless of how sunny it is outside, says Mark. Yeah, I don't do that. I try and keep the lights off until it's dark because, you know, you're consuming power and energy, and try and keep that to a minimum, you know. That's why I don't do this whole, like, streaming 2PC setup. Like, that seems redonkulous. Like, the performance of this stream is perfectly adequate for what we're doing, and in my mind it would be madness to go, oh, I'm going to have a second computer just so it's like an unnoticeable fraction smoother. It just seems absurd to me to do something like that. Okay, there we go. You're starting to see where it's going now. I like this. Let's do this one over here. I'm going to sneeze. Well, there we go. Not wearing seatbelts may be beneficial during the biggest crashes because you can go through the car window instead of being totaled with the car, says Chowster. Yeah, but how often do the biggest crashes have as opposed to small crashes where the seatbelt saves you from serious injury? You know, the data's there. It's clearly better to do it with seatbelts. Bless you, says Space Mage. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I had to sneeze. I had to sneeze. Oh, jeez, I had to sneeze. Right. There we go. Almost all of that. So this thing will look well different from above now, won't it? Well different, mate. That's what it will look. It'll look well different. We should rock it up and have a look. Woo! Done a fair bit, but in a way we might have actually not done the most of it yet, right? Because this stuff's all higher up. Ow, I smacked my face. So, I think, yeah, like, we've done a fair bit of that. That was cool. Shall we start work on the next project? Well, I say the next project. The next thing here is digging this thing down, right? Because I'm actually going to do it on 3 sides here, so what I'm going to need to do is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't need to think about it too much. I need to dig down 8 blocks on either side. So let's start getting this next bit together. Okay, and where is the edge here? Because I've got an idea on how we're going to make this farm even crazier, right? And now that nighttime approaches, I am swiftly reminded that I need to sleep in the bed. Right, I'm having a read a chat. What do people want me to talk about? What are your thoughts on the new armor mechanics? I don't understand them yet. I have yet to get my hands on the game code to see what's going on with that. Super Gamer says, any suggestions for a new streamer? Focus on having fun, man. Make sure you're enjoying your time doing it. And do it consistently and often, and, you know, that way you'll get more comfortable and better at it, I guess. Mark says, I'm more angry that we don't have dirt slabs, and now we... By the way, Mark, that's a name to get on Twitch, right? 4-letter person's name. You must have been here like from the beginning. We cannot combine infinity and mending on a bow. It's a bit annoying that that existed, right? Infinity and mending, and then they removed it. But I'm kind of fine with it, you know. I don't get too caught up on that. It was nice to have that, but now they've changed it, I guess. I think the real annoying thing is that these changes always seem to come years later. Like, you have this thing for years, and then Mojang are like, nope. It just feels to me like they're rather disconnected from how people play their own game. And so then they crop up with these decisions way after people have been doing it for a long time, right? I think it'd be nice if at Mojang they had a department or a team that was actually like playing the game, or at least playing it with people that know the game very well, and getting a real feel for the experience through them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we need to build a new thing here. So I kind of flooded this before I thought about that, but this is a thing that we need to do. Expanding our farm is what we're doing. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we go around it. Should probably double check that with the last one. Well, long before Amazon came along and brought Twitch, that is, says Mark. I mean, like, long before Amazon. I mean, Twitch was around for a while before Amazon got involved, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we did this one correctly. That's good. Well, we removed loads of dirt. Now we're putting it all back. Typical. Typical Asumi. You don't know what you're doing, you dirt. Asumi, what do you think is going to be updated in 1.15, says Ari. I could say what I want. Here's what I think. We're going to just get something aimed at kids. Right? That's what we're going to get. We're going to get something that will sell the game to kids. That's my prediction. Another bunch of cutesy looking mobs, probably. I'll repost since it got shuffled up. I got to this name back in 2007 when the site was star. I don't know why that was blocked. Long before Amazon came along and brought Twitch. Oh, you were even an admin for a few years. Wow. So you were here pretty much right at the beginning of Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know when Twitch started. Like, because I know, oh yeah, YouTube started back in 2005, right? And I remember using it in 2006, 2007 to like share, like, there's lots of, used to look up lots of videos of like old concerts and stuff, and people were sharing all rare footage of live shows and whatnot on it. Yeah, but I never really thought like, oh, what was Twitch origin story? I don't think I've even seen like screenshots of old Twitch or anything like that. I've never sort of delved into that, I guess. Which is something I might want to do now. I'm kind of curious. What did Twitch used to look like? How did it get started? What's this? I remember there used to be this Justin.tv thing as well that was like paired with it. Like they were one and the same or something, had 2 URLs. I remember that. Reganur says, I'm kind of surprised my name wasn't taken. Only got it a year or so ago. It's a little uncommon for me to see a name like that, so that might say something. Maybe you're from a country where it's common, but maybe that country is not so prevalent on Twitch. What do you do with your old PC parts, says Damaged Goods? To be fair, my old PC is sitting there doing nothing, and my DAW, which hardly ever gets any use, is just sitting there doing nothing. It's somewhat of a waste, I guess you could say, but I haven't thrown them into the trash, that's for sure. Maybe at some point I'll give them to charity or something. I mean, It's very hard for me to throw away the DAW, and then it's very hard for me to throw away my other computer, which is actually a backup. I do need a backup computer, right? But I could, you know, take my old computer and turn it into the DAW, but that's so much work that I just don't want to really touch it until I know that I'm going to be spending lots of time with music again. Black Ranger PL says, I have no idea what people loved about pre-1.8 combat. It was boring, too easy compared to the game's challenges. We talking about the combat update? I mean, I've said it many times before. To me, there's really not much of a difference between the combat update and before it. Yeah, 1.9 was the combat update, wasn't it? To me, it still just plays the exact same way. It's like when you had spam click, you just clicked, right? And now that you have timed clicking, you just click. It's literally the same thing. I mean, I know there's some more nuance to it, but to me, it's just one of the most ridiculous game design things I can think of. Just that it took them like what, a year to develop fast clicking or slow clicking. I mean, to me, they both have the exact same skill level. You're either going as fast as you can, or you're going boom, boom, boom. You're just clicking. It's silly. I mean, if they had introduced something like where you click, you know, click on the head, do more damage than clicking on the foot, that would have been pretty cool, you know. But no, just clicking. That's it. Just took them a year to develop click slower. That was it. I wish they kept the right click to block with the sword, or even expanded on it. I loved that. That was really cool. Because you used to sword waggle. You used to waggle your sword at people when you saw them on the server. Okay, let's hop over here and work on this side now. And I've done it wrong. Wait a minute. Is that right? Oh, yeah, cool. No. Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see what I've done wrong here. I've just missed it by one block. Which is fair enough. That happens. As evidence of right here. We've missed it by one block. It happens. So we have to come over here and do that, yeah. What are you working on, says Stowe Hellet. We're working on our mob farm, which is going to get... Oh, I thought it was falling all the way down. It's going to get expanded. Asuma, what do you want to update in 1.15, says John. I want them to update the inventory. I want them to do like a overhaul of item stacks, building mechanics, inventory management, inventory size. I think the whole thing needs an overhaul, especially with all these new slabs and stuff. I think all the options, all the different blocks, they need to be far more accessible and easy for you to manage as a player. It's a great way to unleash creativity. One of the things that helps me be creative with a build is going into the creative mode menu and just looking at all the blocks and picking some out and moving them around. If ever you try and do that in survival, you just got so much to work with. You want to look at a few blocks, you've got to rummage through chests and shulker boxes, and the game has a lot of blocks, and it feels like the way you access them in survival just kind of restricts your creativity. And it holds you back from seeing all the options because it's so sluggish. And then in between building, you're always, oh, my inventory's full. I've got to do this thing. I've got to do that thing. And now let's get some of that chore out of there. Let's get more to the core and make it easier to build and do cool stuff in the game. Asuma, what's your plan for 900k subs? My plan for 900k subs is to keep making videos. That's my plan. When I get to 900k, I'm going to be like, right, 900k, let's make another video. You know, just keep it simple. Keep doing what I've been doing for all the other 100k subs, you know. Nice plan, X, says Chris. Nice plan, yeah, it is, isn't it? My son reckons a backpack enchant for shulker boxes so you can open them from inside your inventory. That's kind of cool. Now, I have seen people say they should add a backpack, and I've always been like, you've already got one. You've got the shulker box, but yes. A way to... How would that work, though? I mean, I'm sure they could find a way to make it work, right? But that would be a very cool thing to do. Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. And it being an enchantment gives more value to the enchantment system, right? So yeah, that's a really nice idea actually. It's a really nice idea. Quite fond of that. Asuma 1.14.2 pre-free seems to have fixed your lighting glitches. Pre-free didn't fix the lighting glitches. Pre-4 has fixed the lighting glitches though. But yeah, pre-free wasn't able to do that. I feel kind of guilty about leaving all this stone here. I'm just got to store it all the time. Maybe I should go make some more barrels and store it. Also, I could do with a ladder, and we need a bed, so let's go get the ladder, get the beds. Said those the wrong way around. Clearly. Sleep in the bed, yep. Asuma, for 1 million you need to do something special. Do you know what I'm going to do for 1 million subs? I'm going to do an unspecial video. I'm just going to make a really rubbish video and be like, happy 100,000. Let's, wait, we can make more down here, can't we? Yeah, ender chest. I guess we need logs. So there's a ratio to this. So if I take 2 of these... Oh god, doing this with a full inventory would be nasty. Okay, let's get rid of some of that dirt. So if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do that. So how do I have 1 left over? That's kind of, no, it's not kind of close at all. I can't be bothered. There's probably like some sort of ratio, right? Where you can get the balance better, is what I'm getting at. Is what I'm trying to get at. I'm doing a terrible job of articulating that. Like there'll be some golden number, like with a chest, it's 2 logs. So you'll have this number, and then how many of these you do. Yeah, look, I'm ruining this. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, I got that wrong then, didn't I? Okay, right. That can go back into here. Where is it? There it is. And we got a noise in the ear. We had one 2 minutes ago as well, and I was completely oblivious to it because I am a derp. I'll admit it, peeps. I'm a total derp. Okay, let's put our newfound barrels on this side. And they'll just be stashed away over here forever. If we ever need the materials, we can come and get them. That'll go back in my backpack. And I left the logs on me, that's fine. Our barrels, fancy chests? Pretty much, yeah. They're a little bit more stackable. Oh, is all the stone disappearing? All the stone, no! No, don't let it despawn. So we got a noise in the ear from Stohelit. For 4 months in a row, Stohelit says, reviving my sub because I love your laid-back style. Watching these weekend streams feels like Saturday morning cartoons. I've had a few people mention the old Saturday morning cartoons. A very American thing, that is. Thank you so much for the support. I'm glad you like the laid-back, chilled-out, relaxed, happening style. And Spud the Gamer 101 is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime as well. Spud, thank you for using the Prime subscription on me. I appreciate it. Mark says, or a chest, just fancy barrels. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. X, Del the Durite to Iskal. Let's Del the Durite to Iskal, everyone. Let's Del it. Let's Del it all. Ren's gone from the server a while, and the first thing he does when he gets back is conduct a commemoration ceremony for a dead villager. Oh, I haven't seen his episode yet. When did that come out? I didn't catch that in my sub feed, I don't think. I wouldn't mind watching it. I don't think he'd publish one this time of day, like during the middle of us where we're streaming here, but this is an unusual time to post a video, unless it's a live stream announcement, unless you're me, you know. By the way, 1,400 peeps, approaching 1,500 tuning in today. Thank you ever so much, everyone. I appreciate your support. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Be sure to hit that follow button. You knew I was going to say it, didn't you? Or maybe you didn't. If you hadn't hit the follow button already, maybe you didn't know I was going to say that. Jeez. But appreciating y'all hitting the follow. We've had loads of people watching the streams lately. It's been really awesome. And we got Corsa Coffee, subscribe in tier 1. The Corsa Coffee, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. I guess you wanted those emotes after all, right? You wanted those dirt faces to throw in chat. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the subscription. I hope you enjoy the emotes. I'm messing with you, of course. I'm just messing with you. Right, this little bit of work we're doing right here is good. I just kind of been thinking though, we should get more of the area up above. It's going to help the effectiveness of the farm down below at this point. So I'm going to pivot here and try and get more of that surface removed. Which means we'll leave this bit right here as is. Do I have something to put back in here? I feel like I don't have something to put back in there. Canon7 has subscribed to Amazon Prime. Canon7, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. I hope you're enjoying today's stream. I hope you're chillaxing, relaxing, and maxing. I hope it ain't too taxing. Oh, I love everything dorky and weird. Don't take me seriously, please. Right. Let's get rid of some more of this dirt. What project are you working on, Asuma, says Sliner? We're working on our passive mob farm, which is also a combo farm. It's going to be a mega farm by the time I'm done with it. We're going to farm all the things, basically. I wonder if I could turn it into like a drowned farm as well. Probably not. Probably not. But peeps, there's like 2 spots where there's 3 cave spider spawners I can activate at once. So we're going to get a ton of string from this thing. We're going to get slime balls, because it's in a slime chunk. And we're going to get all the passive mob drops as well. It's pretty cool. Oh, right, we've got the gravel in the way. X, when you say dirt, it sounds like derp. Get rid of the derp! Get rid of it right now, this derp's in the way. I'm saying dirt. X, will you do an episode with Grian? I would like to see you interact a bit more. I haven't spoke to Grian about doing an episode or anything. I'm always up for doing something with the other hermits, but most of the time I'm just on here trucking away doing my thing, you know? I don't really have any collaborative plans at the moment either. Like, occasionally I work on some sort of something or other to get people together, but I haven't thought of anything in a while. I've just been very focused on these new 1.14 features, right? Because I want to do all the new farms and all the new this and that. I don't think I repaired my other shovel, which sucks, because I wanted to keep shoveling away this dirt. Maybe we just focus on what's underneath it now. This all still needs to go, doesn't it? And we can mine it underneath here. You should do a hardcore hermit season, says Supergamer. I think the UHC things have pretty much come to their natural conclusion. We often talk about the fondness for wanting to do one again, but we never really get organised to do it. And I think at one point we were planning on doing it as a live stream event, but I think I'm a little bit too busy at the moment to organise it, so it won't come from me. But you know, we could certainly do it if another hermit wanted to organise it. And bam, we got a noise in the ear. A crazy emerald face has appeared. It's it's Emerald Harold here, resubscribing for 38 months, saying woohoo, 38 months. I need some music recommendations, X. Listening to my playlist all day at work has been exhausted. Ah, I see. In need of new music, eh? Dude, you know the blog spot. I'll always say that. Just go there, read, click on tags of genres you're interested, whatever. You know, you'll find something there. As for like a recommendation that comes to my mind right now, not much really. What have I been listening to? I was listening to some stuff that I probably really wouldn't recommend earlier. Cool. And then over the last few days, it's really just been. Actually, yeah, I got a recommendation for you. So I'll do a blog on this soon. For anyone out there who likes metal, I'm noticing that there's like this trend now. There's just a few too many bands fitting into this this kind of like post-ghost revival of classic ideas in metal. And I found another one called Beastmaker after listening to... Who was it? Posted a blog on them recently. Oh my goodness me. I have to go look. That's going to give me a brainworm if I don't go look. Sorry peeps. Stare at my inventory screen. Stare at it well. Let's have a look. It was very recent and it won't come to mind. Green Lung, that's the one. Okay, so this band Green Lung. Another one of these bands just kind of like redoing the metal thing, right? Like taking it back to the roots and picking up some old vibes and old sounds, and it kind of started with Ghosts. And anyway, I found another one called Beastmaster, and I listened to it, and the first time it was like, it felt kind of a bit more low-key, not as good. But then once the songs just had a little bit of familiarity, all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness me, these guys are really kicking it. Like it sounds a little bit like Baroness at times, their newest record that I'm listening to. They do 4-track records, and they did 10 of them over the last few years. They've got 10 EPs, all 4 tracks, and now they've got this new record. And the completionist in me wanted to get all of them and listen to all of them, but I thought, no, just listen to the newest one and maybe backtrack a little if I really enjoy it. And I tell you what, I am really enjoying it. They are kind of deceptively good. And it's all part of this like revival of older styles of metal kind of being reimagined and done so much better. It's really fascinating. I like it anyway. Harold says Beastmaster is making a good first impression. Cool, I'm glad. For me, it took like listen to it once, and then the second time around, I was like, "Whoa, yeah, this is cool." Hey, Asuma, do you read often? What kind of books do you enjoy the most? Says Manu Takan. I don't read. I listen to audiobooks, and I most enjoy sciencey audiobooks and self-help ones. Those are the ones that I kind of go for. You know, I probably enjoy like philosophy as well. Actually. I have read 1 or 2 philosophy-related books before and enjoyed them. We got a noise in the air. Cheers and bits here from Kyle Vane. Kyle Vane is throwing the bits. Thank you, Kyle, for the bits. I appreciate it. Truly do appreciate the support to the channel. Hope you're enjoying the stream. And thank you again. X, will there ever be another Hermitcraft modded series? Well, there's one right now, isn't there? I mean, will there be another? There's been one running for the last couple of months, as far as I'm aware. If you mean one with me in it, I don't know, because my last foray with modded was pretty smelly. It's the same old problem. It's just, like, I want to have all these new toys and blocks and things to play with, but it just gets seemed to, like, slam into this wall where the mods just don't want to make themselves accessible. They're all operating under different principles, and they don't really feel very compatible with one another, and you just get bogged down by this constant learning how to do something, and it just feels like there's no creativity there. There's no like putting bits together. It's just you try and do something, and it's like, nope, you've got to learn this weird way that this mod wants to do its thing. That's my experience with modded time and time again. Right. Gonna need a new shovel. Gonna need a new shovel. Do a prank on Mr. Mumbo, says Pazarino. Sorry, do another prank. You want me to do another? Peeps, we've already done one prank on Mumbo this stream. Surely we're not going to do a second one. Oh look, I had a feeling this one was also damaged. Yeesh. Surely you don't want me to prank Mumbo twice. Mark says, I think Mumbo suffered enough this month. Yeah. Yes, I know what you're referring to there. I know exactly what you're talking about. Right, let's get down to this level. Start knocking this out here. Right, and then this stuff. Sweet! And then we'll go drop off these materials in those barrels. Cuplex says, I've been playing a pack called Builder's Paradise. It isn't focused on tech progression, but more like building and decoration mods. It's making my creative juices flow. Awesome, that's good. If ever there's room for like a modded experience again in the future, I'm probably gonna try and steer it in that direction actually, because all the techie stuff is just not my cup of tea in modded, it feels like. Simply Scott says, what are those nets you just went through? Oh, they're scaffolding, they're not nets. They're the new scaffolding block. People always say don't use a ladder, use scaffolding now, I've noticed. I've been using scaffolding instead of a ladder. It's not as good. It's slow. It's slower. You can't drop down it with an elytra. You can't AFK. Like, sometimes when I'm on a long ladder, it's like I just tab and do something else quickly, like some editing, and then tab back and I'm at the bottom of the ladder. Can't do that because the scaffolding is super slow. It is super duper slow. Okay, I've decided that I'm going to go around like this and do the underside. Yellow Harold, Emerald Harold says, "Oh yeah, Suma, have you listened to the Game of Thrones soundtrack by Ramin Djawad?" Well, I've watched the episodes, and time again, the music on that is incredible. By the way, peeps, I wouldn't mind talking a little bit of Thrones. I've had time to you know, like, kind of digest the end of season 8 and come to my what I think is my overall feeling on it. Probably said this and that about it before, but having taken the time to think about it. So, spoilers and all of that, right? And if you don't like Game of Thrones talk, then, well, I'm going to talk about it for a few minutes, sorry. So for all you Thrones fans out there, I mean, one of the things I notice when I start talking about a topic is everyone throws in messages about it, and then by the time I'm done talking, no one's throwing in their message. So give it a moment, hear me out, and then you tell me what you think, right? So give it a moment here. I am ultimately quite disappointed with the end of season 8, right? And I think the biggest problem is what I was saying the other day, is that it is all very, very rushed. I mean, the way you jump through those episodes, there's seasons worth of content that could be fleshed out. And one of the most important things, and one of the things this show does really, really well, is fleshing out its characters and their story arcs. And it's done many like controversial things and unexpected moments in the series that are really well executed because of how well those character arcs are developed. And then going into its final season, the way things played out did not have that development. And I think that's the biggest flaw, because if you want to argue about if Daenerys should have been, okay, spoiler, like literal spoiler, should have been killed by Jon Snow, or Bran should have been put on the throne at the end, you can really dissect those pointers and you can really pick them apart. The reason you can pick them apart as things that happen in the story is because they didn't flesh out the story behind it. Bran has one of the worst stories in the show. He's sort of there with this weird three-eyed raven thing, and it never amounts to much or mean anything. And without fleshing him out, he gets sat on a throne in and around people that don't know him, that would be, you know, they just, at the end when they have that scene where they make him king, they're all just so easily swayed into throwing away their power just because of what Tyrion says. And that's after Tyrion has, you know, kind of gone from being one of the most cunning characters in the show to really falling on his arse with a lot of situations he's in. And again, it's not what happened, it's the lack of fleshing it out. Like, I think if they had have made the three-eyed raven thing more relevant, that could have been terrific. And I think the most disappointing thing about all of it is definitely the Army of the Dead and what do they call him again? I'm so bad at remembering names. You know, the Dark Knight or whatever his name was. Okay, because he like has been a massive the Night King, that's the one, the Night King. There's been a massive part of the build-up for a long time, and without getting to really see the Night King in action, or to really even get any dialogue or any kind of more from this character, it's slain in a slash by another character who's also had something really big and important developed. So bad at remembering the names. Is it Arya Stark, or is there a J in there? Why can't I remember? Peeps, help me out here. Okay, I'm making a fool of myself. I'm supposed to be some sort of like fan of this series. I can't even remember the basic names. Arya. Okay, it is Arya. Did I say Arya? I'm just going to say that I said Arya. So she has this ability built up through the season that she can take on the form of other people's faces, right? Now, I heard a suggestion somewhere. It would have been really cool if she had taken the form of Bran and killed Bran to trick the Night King and then struck him. That could have worked really well in that instance. But anyway, she sort of pops out of nowhere without using this ability that she has had built up over the whole season to then kill a character who's been built up over all these other seasons. Arya, now people are saying. Okay, look, I'm just a total derp, okay? I watch these shows and then I can't seem to say the name of the characters for some reason. But hear me out on this. It doesn't come together with the story arcs of existing characters tying into their actions, and they don't flesh out the actions in the final season with proper story arcs. I don't know how this opportunity was. How this opportunity was so thrown away as well. Like, usually companies want to milk it when they got something good. There's, a couple of seasons worth of content in the way that season 8 ended, to put the words around the right way. But you know me, I'm always getting that wrong. Yeah, so for me it's just a case of I don't know, like too many things done wrong. Things were rushed. Storylines weren't fleshed out. It could have been so many times better, right? Anyway, I'll pass it on to all of you now. What are your thoughts on it? Simply Scott says D&D could have done more seasons, but they chose not to. They had to go ahead for up to 10 seasons with 10 episodes each, but the major plot points could make sense, but it does not need so much more backstory. I would disagree. I really feel like the backstory is what makes the show great, and many shows is like you tend to focus on like big fights or big events, the one where they all got stabbed in the back, or the Battle of the Bastards, for example. But it's all of the build-up towards that and all the story arcs that really make the gravity of those situations work, I guess. Kiyomi says Bran was the puppet master for the whole damn thing. Yeah, and if that were so, if they were pushing Bran as the puppet master, they did a very poor job of making that clear, I think, that it was his plan all along. In no way did they really show that in Season 8. And I would be fine with that being their decision. You just got to flesh these things out. We as watchers get really caught up in what we think the characters would do. The characters can do anything because they're written, right? I just think whatever it is you're going to make them do, flesh it out and make it make sense. And there's a lack of that in Season 8. We got a noise in the ear from AJ Main 12, resubscribed for 11 months with a baby face. Thank you ever so much, AJ Main. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the stream. Emerald Howard says, I don't mind the results of the season, but 8 should have been 2 seasons with more character development and better reasoning behind some decisions, as well as better military strategy. And yes, the Night King's death was pretty lackluster, and I would have loved Littlefinger faked his death theory to come true. Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, there's another character, Xerxes. Like, her death is just so not befitting of her character. Like, she's cunning and devious and always fighting and always has a backup plan and will do just about anything to maintain power. Yet she just sort of whimpers. Doesn't make sense. They were offered what, 10 seasons, 10 episodes each? I mean, it kind of sounds like maybe the creators they wanted to move on and finish it and do something else, which is fine, but man, like, it just feels like something absolutely great has been butchered in a way. X, you've done loads of series over the years, but one that you particularly stuck with me from Hermitcraft. Oh, that message kind of rolled off the screen then. Xerxes. I can't say, okay, I watch shows and I can't remember and say names. Alright? Okay? Moan at me all you want. I disagree. Xerxes' death was actually satisfying because you got to see Xerxes completely broken and seeing her at her most vulnerable. 8-6, that's a really fair point actually. I see what you're saying, right? I would say that would work, right? Except I didn't really feel that vulnerability. To me, when I was watching it and watching her character react and respond, it really felt like she wasn't doing anything where she would normally have something, right? So that, yeah, that maybe actually could be fair, but I feel like they didn't really show that or display it all too well, right? Like, how do you do that though? Maybe that's something I didn't pick up on, right? Like maybe I'm expecting her to do something and not realizing that she's got no other cards to play, but it just kind of felt like she would have done something. So maybe in the context of that individual episode, if she had have actually made a few moves and done something and then given up, perhaps that would have been the way it would have made more sense to me. But yeah, maybe I didn't quite pick up on something there. That's a pretty fair point. Common Assumer, we all know Assumer can say names. How long did it take before he finally learned to say Giarian? I'm still taking lessons for that, you know. The old Giarian lesson. Oh, I said it wrong again. Whatever. Oh. It really sucks that they rushed it, says Nilalev. Yep, it does. It does suck indeed. I was watching a review from, was it Chris Stuckman, who was talking about how they avoid watching TV series like this because with TV series it can be so easy to mess it up when it finally comes to the end. I thought, yeah, actually that's like quite a common thing with TV series, that endings don't go down as well with TV series as they do movies because people have been so invested in it for such a long time. Kind of an interesting point to make. Right, I'm looking at the time and I'm realising that I've got to crack on with my day, and we've just got a sub bomb as well. Let's read these out. The Twitch 666 is gifting subs. We got a sub for Ram Hamster, OX3A44, Unbowden Bun Broken, Rebel Swizzle, and Doom KYR. If you just heard your name being read out now loud, you are now a subscriber here on the channel. Feel free to throw some emotes into the chat, maybe some love hearts for the Twitch 666. Thank you, the Twitch 666. I appreciate you supporting the channel, and I hope you enjoy it. And we got a Wandering Trader again! Another one! Maybe this will eventually be a Wandering Trader farm as the Wandering Trader gets sucked in, although it doesn't drop anything, so yeah, anyway, look at this. Epic progress, right? We've got to take a trip to the XP farm, repair the gear, but this will pretty much be done for the next episode, which is cool. So yeah, we'll end it right there, peeps, because I got to crack on with the rest of my day. I got things to do and places to go. To be fair, I feel like I could stream a little bit longer, but I'll be cutting it close. I'd rather not cut it close and be late. Right, bam, that's it. Thank you ever so much to everyone for following, and of course follow if you haven't done so already before we go. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate all your support. Thank you to all of my Patreons supporting me on Patreon. We're going to go pick a Minecraft channel to raid, to Riggedy Raid. Who are we going to go check out? Let's find a small channel again. Trying to find an English channel because I always seem to send you to the wrong ones. What about this? Right here. Okay, going to send you to a random channel, peeps. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit raid in chat to join. It'll go up in just a second. There it is. So join the raid. Thank you for watching, peeps. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.